In this lesson, we are paying attention to the other two operations of fractions and mixed numbers that are multiplication and division. So in order to multiply fractions or mixed numbers, the best idea is to convert everything into fractions and then multiply numerators, get a resulting numerator, multiply denominators, get a resulting denominator, and then simplify if possible. Here we have two examples of multiplication, 3/4 times 5/2, and the second one is a multiplication of some mixed numbers, 4 3/5 times 2 3/4. Going back to division, one fraction is the numerator and the second fraction is the denominator. In this case, we're going to divide whole numbers into a fraction, right? And so there we have exercises, examples number 3 and 4, that are 5 divided 2/3 and 10 divided into 1/2. Basically, we have two methods. One is using the cross products, and then the other called by some people the LOW. So let's complete these 4 examples and see what happens. The first case, we are multiplying 3/4 times 5/2. So multiplication works very simple. You multiply numerators, so 3 times 5 is 15, and then you multiply denominators, 4 times 2 is 8. This one is an improper fraction. Now we can convert it into a mixed number since we cannot simplify it. So using mental math, dividing 15 elements into groups of 8, I can get 1, and my remainder is going to be 7. I'm going to keep the same denominator since these two are equivalent. This mixed number is equivalent to this improper fraction. So now here we have the multiplication of two mixed numbers. The best idea here is to convert those two into improper fractions first and then multiply as usual, the way we multiply fractions. So 4 times 5, 20, plus 3, 23. We keep the same denominator for this one. The second would be 2 times 4, 8, plus 3, 11. And we keep the same denominator. So here I have to multiply numerators now. So here in my working area, I can do something like this. 3 times 11. So 1 times 3, 1 times 2, 1 times 3, 1 times 2. So this result would be 3, 5, 2. This result would be then 253 divided 5 times 4, 20. Again, here I have an improper fraction that can be converted into a mixed number. So let's remember the way to convert it here, because maybe mental math is a little difficult. So I know that in this fraction, 20 goes out of the box for division, and 253 goes in. So I start dividing 20, 25 one time. So here 1 times 20 is 20. The remainder here is 5. Now I bring down this 3. And 20 fits into 53 4 times. Okay, I'm sorry, 2 times. 2 times. That way 2 times 20 is 40, and the remainder would be 13. Here, the whole number, the quotient would be the whole number. So 12, numerator would be the remainder, and denominator would be the same of the improper fraction. So 12 and 13 20ths. 12 and 13 20ths. Since 13 20ths cannot be simplified, I just leave it the way it is, because that way is in simplest form. Here, division. Very important. Before we start doing any operation, we need to identify what kind of operation that is. In this case, that's multiplication, but in these two cases, we have division. Here, what I have to do is to write 5 as a fraction. So the denominator of any whole number is 1, since you can represent 5 as 5 ones. Same here, 10 can be represented as 10 ones in fraction form. And now, since we said before, this number would be one of the numerator, this fraction would be the numerator, and the second would be the denominator. So in this case, we can use the here. So 5 times 3, 15, divided 2 is 15 halves, and then this one can be converted using mental math into 7 and 1/2. Now this example is 10 ones divided 1/2. So we use this little trick in order to get the results. Since it looks like an ear, people call it the ear law, right? So 10 halves, 10 times 2 is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. So the result here in lowest terms would be simply 20. Using another method to do division is called the cross. So you can use something like this. For the same example, 5 ones divided 2/3. Some people use, this method, or some people use this one. Which one do you think is the easiest for you? Use that one, as long as that is correctly done. So it's a cross because you do this. Numerator of the first times denominator of the second, and then it'll be the numerator of the result. So 5 times 3, 15. Then 1 times 2, and then 2. Again, you have, if you notice, you have exactly the same result here. So now it's just a matter of converting this improper fraction into a mixed number, which is 7 and 1/2. And same thing here. So let's do it by using the other process. 10 ones divided 1/2. So using the cross, you multiply 10 times 2, you get 20. And then the other cross. So 1 times 1, 1. And basically you got exactly the same result than with this ear process.